Longer days and warmer days and nights have pushed the water temperatures into the breeding range here. The koi are all incredibly active, and so am I. The parent koi here have been on a special diet for the past 2 months. Today I'll be pulling the females up to look them over, see who's ready and who's not, and from there I'll form a detailed breeding schedule that will get me started. Then the schedule will get tossed out and I'll follow their lead until all the breeding is done. These females are so unpredictable. Figure that. The timing here is so critical though. Seriously, certain fry go into certain fry ponds, and once I get the ecosystem of the pond up and running, I have a small window of time to get the parent for that pond spawned, the eggs hatched, and culled if needed, and into that pond. Then it's on to the next one. All of my fry ponds and parent sets are being juggled until every pond is up and running, working days, nights, whatever it takes. If I don't get it now, I lose it for the year. Not every female I'm choosing will spawn. I have to be flexible, and I have to have options. Good backups on hand, just in case. The first eggs of the season, just the beginning. Even at 4 a.m., the beggars are up begging. More eggs. This looks like a good night. In a few days, we'll see how many were fertilized. Do you see it? Right in the middle of the field. I wonder what it's munching on. This is not a good sight. Not what I want to see at my koi farm. There are a lot of wild animals out here in farm country. Wild cats even. This one has discovered it can catch fish out of my tanks, unfortunately, so it's going to have to go and live somewhere else. I'll see if I can catch it. I've got plenty of bait. I would love to be able to focus on one chore at a time, but in the spring a lot of things have to be done all at once. In addition to breeding and catching wild cats, I have to get 2-year-olds sexed and moved out to their grow-out ponds, and 3-year-olds and older koi as well. This is a nice way to spend a spring day, looking closely at every detail of these koi that I've been watching and raising since they were eggs themselves. This showa has been one of my favorites since it was harvested as tosai. She has a single scale here with fungus on it, left over from the cold long winter. It gets plucked out and she'll grow a new one over the summer. The water here in the mud pond is not that different from the water in the filter tanks at the barn. The temperatures are similar also this time of the year, but I give the girls a taste of what they're going into before releasing them anyway. As I've mentioned before, around here the koi are handled in a smooth, casual, low-stress style. This is the vibe koi like. Notice how they swim away. No hurry, no freaking out, no crisis. Let's back up to the barn to pull up some more. Each fish is given a salt dip before going out. Kohaku siblings, 2 years apart in age. and back up to the barn again. A water change in the tubs, and continue pulling up koi. This one feels like a male already. Yep, here's the confirmation. Being male is not a bad thing. This koi just can't go in the grow-out ponds with the females, as much as he'd like to. This is female. And this one feels like female also. Flipping them over changes the look of the abdomen, and some koi will show themselves as female even before a check for milt. This kohaku is a year older and has already been confirmed as female last year. Notice how the shoulder has filled out more than the younger siblings we just looked at. These three are just 24 months old, but it looks like two females and a male from here. Notice the color development. Also, this razor stubble on the head is a giveaway. This is a wonderful looking young male Showa. And this is his sister, 19 inches at 24 months, being tossed around like a small fry in the same net with this magoi. I'll let the big one out and keep the little one. This is what I like to see in a young female Showa. A nice, immature but solid and sharp he plate, lacquery sumi emerging slowly in the right places, and a skin that reflects light well. So much for low stress. I finally catch something in the live trap, but not what I was hoping for. A curious vegetarian. The breeding continues. These kuhakus keep me up all night and into the morning. The goats are up and stretching early. The other females wonder what all the splashing's about. Natural spawning takes a lot of time, but it's the method I prefer to use here for the safety of the parent fish. While I'm waiting for the spawning to finish, a young eastern king snake shows up. A very beautiful and welcome friend around here, non-poisonous and basically harmless at this size. Makes a good playmate for the kids for a little while, so I can get some work done.
You want to climb on it?
Yep. There you go.
Oh! Oh, fun.
This snake will grow to about 5 feet as an adult and is great for reducing mouse and frog populations around here.
Let him climb onto my hand. Okay. Not so fast. Oh man. Not so fast. Not so fast. Not so fast.
Natural spawning is safer than artificial spawning, but it isn't totally safe. This is the bottom tail ray of one of my females. Spawning can get very physical, especially with larger parent stocks. Aggressive spawning like this can easily ruin a showfish's career. Within 4 days, the eggs have hatched and the fry are swimming free and searching for food. With these fry safely hatched and into their fry pond, I have a little free time to ride over to Bob Weston's place for a visit. We've seen Bob's place in earlier episodes of On the Farm. This is where a lot of my culls go, koi that don't make the cut. Bob likes to tinker with plants and fish in between his art projects. He's been trapping some of the culls that have grown up here and is eager to show me what he's caught. Naturally, I'm eager to see how my culls have grown here in his pond too. This is the feeding ring and cage he's using to pull them in from the depths. He lures them in with food and then pulls the cage up around them while they're eating. Then he moves them over to this other cage. Remember, these are culls taken from my first, second, or third cullings. These look to be about 2 to 3 years old, from my Yamabuki Ogon, Sankei, Chagoi, and Showa pairings. Obviously, one of the reasons I'm here, other than the fun, is to see if I've made any culling mistakes over the years. So far, I'm batting at 100%. Nothing spectacular has slipped past me. These are all pond-grade koi. Back at the farm, the spawning continues. These eggs are less than 24 hours away from hatching. If you look closely, you can see the fry moving inside the egg. Soon they break free and are out looking for their first meal. It's hard to believe these tiny translucent needles will grow to become these huge, majestic submarines. In the tank just next door are some toci that I've stored away for the winter. These will be sorted through again and will go out into grow-out ponds sometime in the next few weeks. This is one of the fry ponds, prepped and filled, and literally crawling with life. Look closely at the food chain here. Once in a while you'll also see a kujaku fry swim by. This abundance of Daphnia will only last for about 2 weeks. The kujaku fry will devour all of these, and some of the fry will be devoured by these predators in the process. Until the remaining fry grow large enough, then they'll gang up on these bugs and have them for lunch too. The next spawning is Yamabuki ogons. The simple beauty these two koi produce together amazes me. It's all about body lines, pigment, luster, and scalation. This male was imported from Izumiya as a 2-year-old in 1997. Beyond quality, he's simply an excellent breeder. He fertilizes thousands of eggs by himself. He works all night, tirelessly, and is constantly pushing the spawn forward. Quality genes are no good if the eggs don't get fertilized. After their work is done, I begin the cleanup chores. This is a good-looking batch of eggs. The numbers are good and they're evenly distributed. Most of these are fertilized, and more will hatch than I actually need. Let's see how the Kujaku fry are doing. Their food is still plentiful and they're growing fast. We're beginning to see some color changes. In a few more days we'll be able to see the metallic shine forming. In between spawning, prepping more ponds, and checking the fry, I move more larger females out to their grow-out ponds. Juggling a variety of tasks every day works well for my personality type. As I mentioned earlier, not every female parent koi will spawn when the breeder wants her to. Some will not spawn at all for a few seasons, and then start again later. I'll only use hormone injections to try and force the female koi to spawn when I feel I absolutely have to. And this year it's necessary. A breeder has several choices depending on what needs to be accomplished, whether it's the timing of the release of the eggs, or the volume of eggs produced, or whatever is required. Carp pituitary extract, or luteinizing releasing hormone, a synthetic hormone, or HCG. I'll be using LHRH today to help stimulate the female koi's pituitary gland to encourage a spawn. First I mix clove oil in the tub of pond water at 14 drops per US gallon. The female is moved into this tub, and I patiently wait for her to give in. Sterile water is mixed with the synthetic hormone in a dose suitable for the size of the female koi. In about 5 minutes she starts to go under. And I find a safe place to inject, under a scale, into the muscle, away from the spinal cord and away from any organs. She'll go back into the spawning tank tonight with the males that have been matched to her. If she doesn't spawn within 2 days, I'll have to wait until next year to try her again. Later in the morning, I make my rounds to check the fry ponds. As I'm standing on the pond bank, I notice an unusual color combination out of the corner of my eye. a baby deer tucked neatly into the brush. This is an amazing sight that I only see about once every 2 years. When deer are this young, they aren't fast and agile enough to keep up with their moms, so the mother often hides them away safely during the day while she naps and eats somewhere else not too far away. She'll come and get this little fellow later tonight. I continue with my chores, which includes checking on the kujaku fry. Notice they're developing color now. What do you also notice about the water? Here they are again at 18 days old. Their metallic shine is developing now. Obviously, in this kujaku spawn, very few of the offspring are actually kujaku. The kujaku koi type has been built from other varieties, as is the case with most other koi. What do you notice about the water column here? This is what we saw 2 weeks ago. And this is what it looks like now. These fry have risen to the top of the food chain in this pond. The tadpoles have grown legs and have hopped out into the other world. Spring brings such masses of new life, a fire ant colony getting organized. More ponds are filled and prepped for fry. This morning I'm reminded why I wear my tall, attractive rubber boots around here. It's not just because they're so stylish. This copperhead is twisted up pretty good in bird netting, but it's certainly still able to strike. In fact, it's more prone to strike right now since it's already irritated and stressed. A bite from this snake would mess me up for most of the summer. In these close-ups we can see the sacs of venom on either side of its head. I'm normally very good about freeing animals in situations like this, but with 2 small kids running around out here bare feet all summer, I don't take chances and side with them. This copperhead's going to have to stay right here where it is. The Yamabuki Ogon fry are out in their pond now and growing fast. This one wrestles with a worm half its length. Here are the Kujaku fry again at 24 days, looking and acting more like koi now. Back up at the barn, another critter has tripped the live trap. A bandit for sure, but not the one I was looking for. A raccoon will eat fish, but they're rarely hungry enough to fish them out of the water. They seem to prefer breaking into my koi food supplies. The goats are trying to decide if they know our visitor. Raccoons actually do a good job of keeping the bullfrog and crawfish populations down around here. As cute as these critters are, they have a very mean side also. They're aggressive and will attack. They can be a major problem for the chicken and turkey farmers around me too. I'll go back over here, where I'm appreciated.